Sorry lads, got a big struggle with my microphone once again. Hope I did not too much, but we're gonna continue. So Mirko on P1 with a 128.818. Tom Hackett in the Mercedes following with a 129.092. Wellsponge in the Red Bull on P3 with a 129.605. Mum Rider with a 129.710. Viper Gaming with a 129x60. Jack with a 129.917. Cam McKenzie left the session already with a 129.970. Adveer with a 131.70 on P8. Crytek on P9 with a 130.184. Ali on P10 with a 135.40. Arton on P11 with a 136.46. Janaudi on P12 and a McLaren on mediums with a 131.180. And Smalley and Rob Curran on P13 and P14. Smalley currently with a 132.998. Rob Kerr still has to go for another round as he didn't set a lap time yet. So Tom Hackett, we are looking to Tom Hackett at the moment. Purple sector 1. Let's give Faz an invite to Cam McKenzie. There we go. So Tom Hackett. Two tens behind Mirko. Purple sector 1, purple sector 2. There we go. Tom Hackett across the line. It goes to a 128.830. Closes that gap to Mirko, but doesn't catch him and takes that P1 spot from him. Twelve thousandths of a second. What a times. What a times. Jack C on P3 with a 129.466. So Aston Martin, who is Aston Martin? Crytek. 2.9 seconds up his own time. Not gonna be in hot lap. Janaudi on a set of mediums. Hits the wall. Loses with that a lot of time. As I said, 1.7 seconds up. So running today a short qualifying. 14 drivers at the moment on the grid. That means that a full qualifying would be worthless, as Q1 everyone would be continued to Q2, so short qualifying it is today. And that means a 4.5 minutes left for the drivers. Smalley trying to look if there is a small improvement possible. Currently on a P13. With a 1:32.998. Half second below his time, and he misses the breaking point. He missed. This is the breaking point, and cannot continue doing his hot lap. Arten, 2 times below his own time. It's gonna set him for now on that P10. Into turn 10, 11 and 12. Turn 14, long straights, DRS open. One second below his own time, Arten. He is looking to a P4 spot. Gonna be a great lap for Arten here. The man in the red. Arten across the line goes Arten. And Arten sets it to a P3. Podium spot for Arten later. Great lap for Arten. Two Ferraris up in front. So 8 drivers on an outlap. So Aston Martin of Fanatec is gonna be the first man coming over the finish line. As we are watching Fanatec, we're keeping an eye on the sector times right on the top of the screen. Will he go below his own time or is he above? Sector 2 ending 3/10 below his own time. So we will be fighting for P6, P7. If he nails sector 3, he can make his way up to P5. Well done from Fanatec, sets himself on a P5. We got another Ferrari coming in. Mirko improves his lap time to a 1:28.182 and is more than half a second clear from Tom Hackett. But Tom Hackett is still into a hot lap. As there comes another Red Bull across the line. Going to a lap now, Tom Hackett. And Ali is first. Ali sets it to a P4 with a 1:29.401. Great lap from Ali, but here comes Tom Hackett. Tom Hackett across the line. and does not make it. 59 thousandths of 100, sorry, below his personal lap time. Wellsponge comes beneath him to a P2. 128.5884 Wellsponge. Pushes Tom Hackett back to P3. So the end results of the short qualification: Mirko in the Ferrari on P1 with a 128.182. The man starting the race up in front, together with Wellsponge in the Red Bull with a 128.588, almost half a second difference. That's a big gap in Formula 1. Tom Hackett on P3 with a Mercedes and 128.771. Moomin Rider on P4 and a McLaren with a 129.093. And Arton on P5 in the Ferrari with a 129.334. If Arton managed to keep it there up in front, it's going to be a double point for Ferrari. So as you all know, we got a 5-minute break before race start. So I'll see you all back in 5 minutes. So as usual, we are kicking off with a formation lap. Mirko up in front. Let's see which strategy they choose. So everybody on the grid on a set of mediums except Gennady and Jack. Gonna try the long run on a set of hards. Viper Gaming disqualified. Means that he has a bump into something. Probably. Will be lined up on the grid later, Viper Gaming. But doesn't have the privilege to heat up his tires and get those tires to optimal temperatures. To get with the race start the ultimate launch. That's what every driver is seeking for in the beginning of this Grand Prix. And it's almost that far that the Singapore Grand Prix is gonna begin as the drivers are lining up. Now it's waiting for the green flag in the back. There we go. 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights and 5 lights. And it's lights out and away we go here in the Singapore Grand Prix for MSC F1, the Fanatec Podium Series. Mirko and Wellsponge next to each other. Mirko gets pushed wide but still next to Wellsponge. And Wellsponge takes the lead here in turn 1. Or the Singapore Grand Prix. Well done from Wellsponge. Mirko gets directly company from Tom Hackett. Oh, and there is a mistake for Mirko. Tom Hackett. And in the back, Cam McKenzie and Viper Gaming are fighting for positions. Viper Gaming on the inside, but thinks the better of it. Knows this race will not be won in lap 1, especially not fighting a teammate. Cam McKenzie and Adveer. Very, very close in the back of Adveer there. Heading to Crytek in the Aston Martin and Arten. There they go. Next to each other. Crytek on the inside. Still next to each other. Heading to turn 1. And Arten has little bit of more of the top speed. Takes that position back from Crytek. Well, stays on that position, I should say. I apologize. Mirko coming very close to Wellsponge. Yes, very close. And didn't make it. Wellsponge back up to P1. Krytek in the Aston Martin. Still at the back of Arten, the man in the red. Oh, well sponged, Mirko again fighting for positions. Well sponged searching for the better traction. But it looks like Mirko has takes that P1 spot away from Well Sponge. Now it's looking for Well Sponge to stay in the DRS range. Because if he will not, he will certainly lose time to Mirko. Mirko until P4 Moomin Rider. Still all together in the DRS train for now. Tom Hackett closing that gap on Well Sponge. The arrest from Tom Hackett was open, from Well Sponge not. Something I don't understand. Here comes the Mercedes of Tom Hackett on the inside. And there he goes. Push Well Sponge a little bit wide, but takes that P2 spot. Well done from Tom Hackett. And Viper Gaming fighting for positions as there comes Gennady on the inside. Gennady taking that P10. This is going to be an interesting fight. As we know, Gennady has the pace. Here he comes already with the DRS open on the inside and an easy catch on the straight with DRS open. And nothing that Adver there could do to defend. So we're back up in front. Tom Hackett on P2. Mirko, the man in the red, on P1. Tom Hackett is closing in now with the DRS. Here he comes again, Tom Hackett. DRS goes open. Looks like it's gonna be a very tough season for those two gentlemen. Tom Hackett and Mirko once again fighting each other. Same story last week in Australia. So Smalley and Adver, something has happened with Adver. Adver is falling back to the back. go. Smalley's into the walls. Smalley into the walls. And he has wing damage. Smalley with wing damage needs to pit. That's gonna cost him a lot of time. Jack and Krytek. Jack, oh, there's gonna be triple. No, Jack takes Krytek, takes the P7. Was looking for a moment also on the back of Arten, but did not manage to do so. And Smalley gets a 10-second time penalty for driving too hard into the pit lane. Disaster race for Smalley. Rob Curran on a P11. So we're moving back to Tom Hackett and Mirko. As Tom Hackett is keeping that gap between the Mercedes and the Ferrari exactly the same. A couple of laps already. Now he's very close. 2 tenths behind him. DRS goes open. And he thinks the better of it. Tom Hackett, 2 tenths. Tom Hackett at the moment with a 60% battery. Mirko with a 40. You can see that Tom Hackett is recharging. Planning to attempt overtake very soon. Moomin Rider reporting himself at the back of Wellsponge. 2 gentlemen fighting for P3 podium spot. Tom Hackett. Tom Hackett bails out. Uses a lot of his battery, 22%. Gonna need a couple of laps to recharge now again. Mirko used as well as battery as we see Cam McKenzie and Arten. Arten into the pits. Teammate of Mirko. Fighting for positions in the midfield. And is now on a set of Haas. As we head back to Moomin Rider, still at the back of Wellsponge. As Adveer gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Adveer and Smalley, only drivers on track with time penalties for the moment. Moomin Rider There's no power there. Battery is complete empty. Well, Sponge still on a 50% of battery, so Ali into the pit lane. Tom Hackett losing time to Mirko now. Best performance from start to now. Ginaudi 6 places up. 2 McLarens. If they're gonna keep the positions, will be a very good points for the Constructor Championship. As Tom Hackett is closing that gap again. Needed to take a rest moment, catch breath. And here he goes again, 6 tenths behind Mirko. Viper Gaming on Cam McKenzie. Cam McKenzie into the pits. So far the top 7 did not have a pit stop yet. The backfield had except Rob Kern. Moomin Rider still within striking distance on Will Sponge. Still sees a podium spot there up in front of him. Crytek into a pit, goes for another set of hearts. Cam McKenzie and Rob Curran. Cam McKenzie on a new, fresh sets of mediums. Gonna be a very long stint with a one stop for him. Tom Hackett closing the gap again on Mirko. Before 6 tenths, now it's 4 tenths. So I'm expecting here very soon some action. Well sponged into the pits. Tom Hackett, very good. Saved a lot of battery. Only action on track at the moment. Mirko and Tom Hackett up in front. Fighting for P1 as then Mirko makes a mistake. Still holds on to that P1. But for how long? Because there's Tom Hackett looking again. Bails out another time. Here we go. Cross the finish line. Lost a bit of time there in the last corner. Well sponged and Ali Ali. Well sponged up to P6. As a time penalty standing, back to Tom Hackett. Back to Ali Ali, teammate of Tom Hackett on P2. Thought he was gonna try to make an attempt on well sponge, but loses some time there at the beginning of sector 2 and is out of DRS range. Tom Hackett goes into the pit lane. Into the pits, Tom Hackett for a fresh set of hearts. And now is very much looking to Mirko. Well sponged, sets fastest lap time with 1:32.202. Well sponged, a little bit of banging there on the back of Tom Hackett. Has no right to fight like that with a time penalty behind his ass. So both Mercedes on P5 and P6. Mirko into the pit lane. But now it's watching to Tom Hackett. Where is gonna come Tom Hackett? Mirko Trying out of the pit box. Some Hackett is coming around the corner. There's Mirko. There comes Mirko. And there goes Tom Hackett. Perfectly planned from Tom Hackett. Comes back on track. And takes that spot for Mirko. Perfectly planned from Tom Hackett. And now he needs to make sure he's gonna fast those guys very fast up in front of him. Otherwise he's gonna lose a lot of time to Mirko. You can see he's coming already. 1.126 tenths. Your Singapore Grand Prix winner is existing out of those two gentlemen. Tom Hackett and Mirko. Tom Hackett needed to do a lot more work. Oh, sorry, I do mean well sponge. Jack will go very soon into the pit as well. 15 laps old Haas. Adver 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. At the moment, having a 9-second time penalty standing. Smalley the 10-second time penalty for driving too hard into the pit lane. And Wells Point with a 3-second time penalty. I'm thinking for corner cutting. So well Sponge very close to Tom Hackett. Well Sponge with a 4 laps old mediums. Is enjoying this battle. But will later on in the race gonna miss some pace comparing to the new hard runners Tom Hackett and Mirko. As Ali goes by Gennady there. So Tom Hackett on P2, the other Mercedes teammate of him Ali on P5. Tom Hackett. Well planned pit stop. But it's not over yet. Mirko is still within striking distance. And we all know one small mistake on this circuit is gonna cost you your front wing. Mirko on Jax, takes the outside line, and Jax has of course no chance with a 16 laps old Haas. I think he's going into the pit lane. Yes, he is going into the pits. So Mirko falling back and Tom Hackett loses his DRS now. Mirko has managed to find some time on Tom Hackett. He is within the DRS range. Moomin Rider coming very close on Ali Ali. Moomin Rider takes that P4 spot from Ali Ali. Mirko was last lap 1 second behind Tom Hackett at the moment, a 4/10, and is closing slowly that gap. So I'm pretty sure I can say that the battle between the red horses and the silver arrows has opened. Three-second time penalty for Crytek, multiple warnings. As Jack and Crytek are fighting for position. Cam McKenzie gets also a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That's gonna make it at the moment 6 drivers on track with a time penalty. Viper Gaming, DRS open on Arton. Well Sponge into the pit. Tom Hackett and Mirko switch positions. Mirko back up to P1. Totally missed that. So the man in the red has taken that P1 spot back from Tom Hackett. So Tom Hackett is back where he was the first stint, right behind Mirko. Jack Z and Viper Gaming. Crytek and Cam McKenzie. Cam McKenzie is into the walls. And Cam McKenzie did not finish the race. left the session. Must be furious about what happened there. Not sure because I saw it on the last moment. Looked like he was touching the rear wheel of Crytek. And causes with that his own spinning. We will know for sure later when we will see the POVs in the steward's room. Arten and Jax almost makes a traction mistake there. Almost was losing the rears. Tom Hackett very close on Mirko. Looking at that rear diffuser. Here he comes, Tom Hackett. Has he enough power there? Yes, he has. Tom Hackett still on the outside. Pushes with that Mirko a bit. On the outside line. But takes that P1 spot. Tom Hackett back up to P1. Adveer gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Moomin Rider into the pit lane. Ale up P3. What a team performance for Mercedes. But still not over for Mirko. He has done it before. And he will do it again. Ooh, very, very close there. Lap 22 of 31. That means those two gentlemen are in the fight. The next coming 9 laps. And here he comes Mirko back up again. Takes now the inside line. And takes that P1 spot back, but then makes a traction mistake. And here comes Tom Hackett on the inside. Mirko holds position for now. Here comes Tom Hackett once again. Needed to brake earlier. On the inside of turn 1. There they go. DRS again open. Oh no, I do apologize. Was looking to the wrong sector, but Crytek and Viper Gaming fighting for positions in the back. As Tom Hackett and Mirko. There goes Tom Hackett again. Takes again that P1 spot for Mirko. Mirko is looking. And Smalley gets another 10-second time penalty for driving too hard into the pit lane. Mirko DRS goes open, but has not much there as the battery is empty. And looking to Tom Hackett's battery. It's almost identical. Lap 24 of 31. 7 laps to go. And those two gentlemen leaving themselves no breathing space and stay touched there into the wheels. It looks like one of them has some damage there on the ground. On the ground floor. Smalley gets another 10-second time penalty. Let's see if that small crash between the two gentlemen has caused some issues to the pace of the car. Mirko once again on Tom Hackett. Once again he does it into turn 16 and 17. We've seen both gentlemen making overtakes in that corner, turn 16, 17. Jack C looking or reporting himself at the back of Wellsponge. Has a 3-second time penalty behind him. So if Jack just stays close to him, that will be enough for a podium spot today for Jack. And believe me, he will be very happy with that podium spot. I believe it's gonna be his first in MSC. Going a long way from F7R. Tom Hackett. 6 laps to go. Here comes Tom Hackett. Gonna try an attempt. Yes, he does. Oh, and it almost goes wrong there. Very close to each other here, the two. And again, very close. And it's gonna be again that corner. Turn 16, 17 is where they do it. And here comes Tom Hackett on the outside. Mirko touch a bit of the rear wheel there of Tom Hackett. Still side to side. Very close here next to each other. Tom Hackett brakes later, takes the inside line and takes that P1 spot back. But for how long? Because Mirko stays very close to Tom Hackett at the back. 1/10. Could make now already his attempt. Yes, he does with DRS open. Battery is empty though. But he does it. Takes that P1 spot back from Tom Hackett. Moomin Rider and Jax. Is Moomin Rider gonna go then to the P3? To a podium spot? That would be something. Moomin Rider. Needs to stay under the 3 seconds of Wells Punch. Tom Hackett once again. Same turn, same corner. Here we go again. Oh, makes a brake mistake. Tom Hackett makes a huge brake mistake, and Mirko goes ahead with a 1 second gap now on Tom Hackett. Well, this is gonna make the story a bit harder for Tom Hackett. But takes already some time back. Still within DRS range, so very lucky from Tom Hackett there. Ooh, almost lost the rears there. Three more laps to go. And then will be decided who is the winner of the Singapore Grand Prix in Season 6 of MSC F1. Ginaudi on Viper Gaming. As Advir gets a 3-second time penalty for cutting corners. Back to Tom Hackett for the final 2 laps of the Singapore Grand Prix. Oh, and again almost a traction mistake. You can see that he's really fighting now on those hards. And again, same corner last lap. Struggling to find the grab there. Blue flags for the Red Bull driver Advir. Officially lapped by those 2 gentlemen. And here we go again. But Tom Hackett is too far away this lap. And here we go. From here is the final 2 laps of the Singapore Grand Prix. So if Tom Hackett plays it smart now. Oh, and they touched again. And Tom Hackett takes P1 from Mirko. As I see Wells Point, someone was going wide there. Anyway, what I wanted to say is if Tom Hackett was smart now, I would say he would wait till the last lap and do the same what he did before in the same turn. But he has taken away that P1 spot. So now he needs to fight to keep that Ferrari of Mirko behind him. Although he knows it's going to be very tough. as we are heading into the last turn, the last lap. This is it, all or nothing for Tom Hackett and Mirko. Tom Hackett needs to let it stay on between the 3 and the 4 tenths. Will be still too much. Here comes Mirko. Here comes Mirko, and Mirko takes back that P1 spot. Into turn 9 to go, and you can see Mirko is sliding away on the track. Those Haas are cooked. Tom Hackett. Here we go. This is the turn where it happened. This is the DRS where it happened before. Tom Hackett burning that battery. Tries the inside line. Gonna be pushed right by Mirko. But Mirko stays on the track and stays on the line. And it is Mirko that is your winner for today, ladies and gentlemen. Mirko in the Ferrari takes P1 and Tom Hackett on P2. But what an exciting race to watch. How it was going there up in front between Tom Hackett and Mirko all the race long. Well, Sponge on a P3, but Moonrider will take that P3 spot. And driver of the day for me is really, I think, Moonrider, yeah. Because the places he would have catch. Let me check. One place. Well, I think Moonrider really deserved it today. So, P4, well, Sponge. Jack on a P5. Ali on a P6. Ginaudi jumps to P7 because of the time penalty of Viper Gaming. Arten on P9, Crytek on P10, P11 Adveer and P12 Rob Curran. As we see, Ginaudi make quite some achievements today still. Driver of the day. Most attempts. And cleanest driver. So once again, Mirko on P1 in the Ferrari with a on P1, Tom Hackett on P2, and the Mercedes, Moonrider on P3 with the McLaren, P4, Wellsponge Red Bull, P5, Jack in the Williams, P6, Ali with the Mercedes, Ginaudi on P7, Viper Gaming on P8, P9, Arten in the Ferrari, teammate of Mirko on P1, Crytek and the Aston Martin on P10, Adveer on 11, Rob Curran on P12, Smalley on P13, and P14, Cam McKenzie. This was it for the MSC F1 Fanatec Podium Series. We will all see you back tomorrow for the MSC F1 Club Sport Series. Commentator for that will be Phoenix Gray. So tune back in all tomorrow. Good night.
Just